Alright, hey guys, Scuba Sage here. This is my Yang Zing Metalfoes deck profile that I was using in the games with Janny Rules before.
That's right.
Let's go straight off the bat. 3, Jiao Tu, because Jiao Tu is the most important card of the deck. He starts off your combos. You need 3 of him. No questions asked.
Up with it. Yeah.
Actually, you don't want to open with him, though. You want to open with
another
Yang Zing to float into him. Yeah. 3 Chi Wen, your other tuner in the deck. Also, super important part of your combo. Definitely need 3 of. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You run the 3. 3 Suanis, fire a Yang Zing. It's a floatable Yang Zing, so it works for Jiao Tu's discard effect. It works to float into Jiao Tu. He's your 1900 normal summon beater, so he's good for that. And he gives a 500 attack boost to anything he synchros into, so he's just good to have in general. 3 copies. Next up, 3 Bian, Earth of the Yang Zing. Bian's level 3, 1600 attack. He's not bad, but not Suani good. He gives immunity to battle. He's a very important part of your combo as well, so you run 3.
A battle immune Herald of Arclight is pretty damn good.
Yeah. Well, it's not really immunity to battle. It's just they can't be destroyed by battle. 3 Bishi. It's spelled Bixi, but it's pronounced Bishi, apparently. He gives immunity to traps. So if you try to, like, let's say for whatever reason you don't Solemn Strike the summon, but you try to Solemn Strike the effect, I just ignore your strike and you pay 1,500 for nothing. Right? If you try to Bottomless Trap Hole, he ignores it. He ignores Torrential Tribute, that kind of thing. He gives your Synchro Monsters immunity to traps. Real good. You run 3. 1 Pulao, Wind of the Yang Zing. Only 1 copy because he's terrible in terms of stats. I mean, 1800 defense isn't bad, but he's level 1. He's garbage. Being level 1, you can't Pendulum Summon him, and he's not a tuner or anything like that. He's just there as an extra name. And his effect sometimes comes in handy because he gives immunity to spell cards. So there's not that many spell cards being played that directly affect monsters anymore. Because, like, you know, Stormforce out 1. People aren't playing, like, spell-based removal. Like, you might see Raigeki every once in a while, but that's it.
It's rare.
It is rare, yeah. So he's not as useful, so only 1 copy of him.
I like it because it's a problem solver Raigeki, but
yeah. I like it too, honestly, but yeah. It's not common anymore. 2 Zefraxi, Treasure. Is it Treasure? Yeah, Treasure of the Yang Zing. Only 2 because he's not that great. Like, you use him for your combo because he's Pendulum Summonable, so you can bring him back. He's level 3, but the thing is, he doesn't give any actual benefits to the synchro you make. And if you're using him just like that as a synchro material, Bian is strictly better because same level, same attribute, but gives an effect. It's more just for combo purposes, and you don't really want to draw him. You want to have him in deck to summon. So, 2 copies because he's still a name. So if you do draw him, you can still use him for Jiao Tu. But
yeah.
You know, 3 Zephrinu, Secret of Yang Zing. The only Yang Zing in the deck that cannot be normal summoned just like that, and he's being run at 3 because he's just very, very good. 2600 defense is huge. He searches off a Pendulum Summon or when he's destroyed in a monster zone. Searches any of your Yang Zing spell or traps. Just a really good card. Part of your combo again, and especially like part of variant combos where you use 2 of them to make Beatrice. Super important to have.
Is there a problem running 3? Like, never feel cloggy at all?
Sometimes, but you can use it as one of your scales for your combo. True. And you can discard it with Jiao Tu, so it's not that bad. Yeah. Like, I'd rather see him in hand than Zefraxi, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Or Pulao.
Well, Pulao I could set, whatever. Next up are the Metalfoes. I'm running 8 Metalfoes total, so 3 Steelins, 3 Silvereds, a Volflame, and a Gold River.
Was it Gold Driver, Gold River? Like, you know, it's funny. Like,
I mean, there's only the 1D, right?
Yeah, I remember the people that was either Fault Troll or Fault Roll.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
It's one of those things. I'm going to say Gold River. I think it's cool. But it's definitely Gold Driver.
Gold Driver, yeah.
Because he's driving a motorcycle thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying Gold River because I like that better.
Running in the 90s.
So, yeah, running in the 90s. So, 8 Metalfoes scales because they're part of the combo. 8 is the best ratio, because the ratio should be 24 Yang Zing cards, 8 Metalfoes cards, 8 Metalfoes scales, ideally. I actually have 25 Yang Zing cards total and 8 Metalfoes scales, but that's because I want the Pulao in there. So, an even split between scale 8s and scale 1s. And then the reason I'm running 3 of Silvered and 3 of Steelin, the 2 weaker ones instead of the 2 stronger ones in Volflame and Gold River, is because the weaker ones have better levels for synchroing. Synchroing with a level 7 monster is rough. Synchroing with a level 4 monster is okay, but synchroing with level 3 and level 2 allows for much better combos when you're using like Jiao Tu and other Yang Zing monsters. So that's basically why I'm running 3 of these 2 instead. But I put them all together because, I mean, really, it's just the difference of stats, but their effect is always the same, right?
Exactly.
So that's it for the monster lineup. For spells, I'm running 2 Yang Zinc Paths.
Good card. Really good card.
Really good card. Shuffle 3 Yang Zinc monsters back into your deck and draw 2.
No other limitations.
No other limitation. Well, once per turn.
Okay,
it's once per turn.
There's no other restrictions like no battle phase, no.
No, there's no other restrictions besides once per turn. It's really It's a really strong card. It's like a mini Pot of Avarice kind of thing. It's really good. Only 2 though, because you never want to actually use it on turn 1, because part of the combo is leaving your hand empty, and you can search it out. So I'm only running the 2. It's still a Yang Zing name for Jiao 2, but I'm only running 2.
That's true. You're right. That's true. You discarded it a couple of times.
Yeah, one game against you, I discarded both copies.
Yeah, you're right.
1 Metalfoes Fusion. I'm not actually running any of the fusion monsters in the deck. It's just there purely so that I can keep continuously using my Metalfoes scales, basically. The idea is get it into the graveyard so it shuffles back into the deck and I can keep using the scales effects to set it back onto the field.
Would you ever consider maybe just finding a spot just for 1 Metalfoes Fusion?
I could.
Just for 1, like the one that makes them pierce, so when it gets popped, you can send
that requires 2 Metalfoes to fuse, though.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So I would probably run like the level 5 that's 2500 vanilla, you know, because it's just a Metalfoes and something else. But like the primary reason right now is so that I can continue, like I can just reuse my Metalfoes scale effect to pop.
Yeah.
That's why it's there. And I mean, it shuffles in, draws a card, it's good. Upstart, because I like running 39 card decks if it's a combo deck.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I'd run more than 1 Upstart if I could, but I only have 1. 2 9 Pillars of the Yang Zing. I believe that's what the English name is now.
Yeah.
This card is being released Friday.
Sneak peek was this weekend.
Sneak peek was this weekend, so Friday is the official release.
Well, yeah, Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday, official release. It's the Yang Zing counter trap that's coming out with Invasion Vengeance. The effect is when a monster effect, spell card, or trap card is activated, negate the activation, shuffle that card back into the deck, and then destroy a face-up Yang Zing you control.
Infinity Barrier, is that you?
Yeah, basically. It's the barrier for
Yang Zings.
Yang Zings. However, what's cool about it is because of the order it does, it shuffles the card into the deck, which is arguably more useful this format than destroying it.
Agreed.
Because so many things float or get, if it's an ABC, you just like banish it from the graveyard or whatever, right? Like,
yeah.
So many things like being in the graveyard, that being shuffled into the deck is really strong.
Yeah.
And then the last thing it does is destroy the Yang Zing monster.
So the Yang Zing monster is on miss timing.
So the Yang Zing monster doesn't miss timing and it gets to float, which makes it really, really good. So 2 of these. 1 Zephyr Divine Strike. So you could also run 3 Pillars and 0 Zephyr. I like the different counter traps being available. So Zephyr is the same kind of counter trap, except instead of shuffling and popping, it requires you to banish a face-up Zephyr card from your extra deck. So over the course of our combo, we have Zephyr cards in our extra deck just lying there, so we get to use them for this. And the reason why I like to have the split, and I search the split in my combo, is so that I don't have to it gives me more flexibility by having this different.
Because let's say if you only have 1, let's say you have 2 9 Pillars on the set in the back row, but you only have 1 Yang Zing available.
Yeah, but the Yang Zing floats into another Yang Zing. But the thing is, this gives me more options because of the fact that it has a different kind of cost. It'll be harder to shut down both counter traps at once.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm running 2 and 1.
Yeah, because let's say if by any means they manage to get rid of your Yang Zing, then that's just that. Yeah. I don't know if they somehow manage to do it.
Next up, 2 Metalfoes Combination. This card is used during the combo, very important. We're running 2 in case we could draw 1 and it's not that big a deal.
No, it's not a big deal.
But just 2 because we don't need to get that many Metalfoes, really. So only the 2. But it's a very important piece of the combo.
Yeah.
And finally, 1 Solemn Warning, 1 Vanity's Emptiness, because Vanity's wins games and Solemn can win games pretty quickly. So that's pretty self-explanatory.
Quick question.
Yes.
If you had the option to, would you run Painful Decisions in this deck?
Originally I was, yes. I'm testing now with the 1 Upstart. Originally I was running 41 cards, and in place of the Upstart I had 2 Painful Decisions, because Painful Decision lets you search out a Metalfoes scale and thin your deck by 1 at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm testing with the 1 Upstart instead, and we'll see how it goes.
All right.
But I'm still more inclined to run the painful decisions when they show up in the mail.
Oh, okay.
They're ordered. They're
on their way.
Yeah, they're on their way. They're just not here. I have to order from 401.
Oh, wow.
Because nobody in Montreal has them.
Shout out to Toronto.
Yeah. And that's what I've decided to do now. Is just if no one in Montreal has them, instead of trying to wait or trying to buy it on Facebook where like everyone's overcharging things, I'm just gonna go buy from 401.
I ordered a German Super Utopia Lightning from Germany for like $10. For like $13 Canadian with shipping and everything included. And like some stores, like a lot of stores, it's very priced. It's priced pretty high, so I mean, $13. Anywhere it's like Super's like $20.
Something. Well, it's the Super and the Ultra are about the same rarity because the Super's not actually out here.
Yeah, it's true.
Right, like.
But we can still use it, though.
Yes, I know. So now the extra deck, 1 Hope Harbinger. So during the course of our combo, we ended with 2 Baxias, so we can overlay them into a Hope Harbinger if we want to. And that's the original combo was Hope Harbinger. I switched to something else now. I still have the Hope Harbinger in the extra because there's the option of let's say against like Monarchs or something like that, something that's very spell card heavy, or like Dark Magician if that ever becomes big, whatever. I could just steal their spell card and negate. It's an extra spell negation as an option.
Well, more and more people are playing Dark Magicians because they did well at a regional in Toronto, so there is people interested in the deck.
Next, Dark Magician is doing a thing, but so next up, Ultimaya Sulkin. This is what I switched to from Hope Harbinger. Basically, Zefraxi, if I pull it out here, Zefraxi can make one of the Baxias during the combo a tuner, which then lets you have a tuner and non-tuner level 8 to make Sulkin with. Really good. And there's a couple of extra deck slots that are dedicated to stuff to summon off of Sulkin, so we're going to get into that eventually. 1 Chao Feng, because Chao Feng is a really strong option available. He's level 9, which isn't great, but it's hard to get level 9, you know? But he locks out monster effects entirely. Like, he prevents them from even activating. So, like, against, like, Mermails or something, if you're going first, you Jiao-Tu into, say, Towdy, who's in the side. My side's not ready, but he's in the side for sure, Towdy. Towdy and Bixie and Jiao-Tu at the same time. You just synchro it to this guy, and it's like... You synchro it to this guy, and it's like, oh, you can't activate water effects at all, or dark effects. And then the Mermails player's just like, you can't activate effects, you can't pay costs, scoop? Right? Yeah. Like, Chao Feng is still a really good option to have, so 1 of him.
Yeah.
1 Trishula, because if I can make level 9, I should be able to make Trishula. Trish is really good. I don't need to talk about him much. 3 Baxia, because Baxia is fucking good, and we use 2 of them in our combo, so having the 3rd available is always useful. Baxia is really stupid good. Stupid good. It's on summon, shuffle away up to the number of Yang Zings you use to summon it. Yeah. Right? And then it's target one of your cards, target a monster in your graveyard that's level 4 or lower, pop the first target, monster reborn the second target. It doesn't have to be a Yang Zing. It can bring back non-Yang Zings.
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
It can revive non-Yang Zings. It's fucking broken. It's so good. If it was generic, it'd be like the best synchro ever printed. Like, straight up. But it's not. It's insane.
This makes me so mad right now.
It's insane. It's so good. So 3, of course. Baxia is really good. 1 Void Ogre Dragon. He's part of our combo as well. Yeah. As a good, negation card, right? 3K... Fucking Janny. 3K beater, negates speller traps. Good stuff. 1 Crystal Wing. We don't really have we can summon him normally, but we don't have an easy time of doing it. So we usually just break Crystal Wing off of Sulkin.
Well, yeah.
Right? Like, this is what I'm essentially doing. Instead of Hope Harbinger, I do Crystal Wing Sulkin.
Which is still really good in a lot of matchups.
Yeah, so. I feel like that's a better...
Yeah, it's a better option.
1 Yazi, because Yazi is still like
Yahtzee.
Death. He's still death to Burning Abyss. You bring him out with Jiao-Tu, Pulao, and Suwani to make him 3,100 untargetable, immune to spell cards.
Good luck.
And then it's like, okay, what are you going to do now, Burning Abyss? He's 31. You can't even Acid Golem into him to crash.
It's unfortunate because I think a lot of PK Fire decks / Burning Abyss or whatever you want to call it, I think a lot of decks are now starting to main Gamma Seals.
Gamma Seals, yeah.
Gamma Seals.
That's what they do now. They have to answer with that.
Yeah, that's the only.
Does Fire Lake target?
Fire Lake does target.
Okay, yeah, no. So yeah, that like Gamma Seal's their only real answer to this.
Yeah.
Or F-Zero, I guess they could F-Zero steal.
F-Zero steal. No, but did you say it's? Oh no, it's not. It's not immune to monster effects.
No, there's no Yang Zing that becomes immune to monster effects through synchros. It's very unfortunate because that would be absolutely brutal. One Crystal Wing.
You already.
Sorry, Clear Wing. I always mix up the two names. Clear Wing, not quite as good as Crystal Wing, but it's another option to go into off of the like level 7 play instead of like if you know that they have a lot of targeting monster effects or something, you would do this instead because you negate a level 5 or higher effect, then you negate a targeting effect.
They can't Dragon Buster it, for example.
Yeah. I mean, like they really can't because you can negate both the Dragon Buster's effects.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, he's useful. He's also useful as another summon off of Soken on the next turn, let's say.
Yeah.
One Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon for the same reasons that Janny said in his profile. Basically, stopping monster effects during the battle phase is really, really strong.
Yeah, prevents floating.
Prevents hand traps during the battle phase.
Prevents any surprises that you don't expect.
Yeah. So he's usually the second. Like when I do my combo, I do it turn 1, so I can't kill him that turn. But then the second turn, I activate Sulkin again, and I usually bring out him to seal the deal. Mm-hmm. So he's really good. Next up, 2 Denlong. Origin of the Yang Zing, or First of the Yang Zing. I'm not sure what the English name is now.
I'm gonna take.
But
yeah, long story short,
Denlong is a level 5 tuner synchro. He's actually generic, but all his effects are related to Yang Zing, so you're really only using him to be a generic level 5 tuner synchro. If you're using him like that.
Yeah.
He's got 3 effects. First effect is on summon, search a Yang Zing card. Any Yang Zing card, add it to your hand. Second effect, he can mill a Yang Zing from your deck to the graveyard. He Foolish Burials it. He copies their level. So he can modulate his level to like synchro what you want. His third effect is when he gets sent from the field to the graveyard. Doesn't matter how, as long as he gets sent from field to grave, he floats into a Yang Zing, and you choose which position to summon it into.
Wow.
So he's really super good. He's key part of the combo. I run 2 because I use 1 in the combo, and I like to have 1 available to summon afterwards if it's necessary. And the final slot goes to Herald of the Arclight, who's good as a floodgate and as a negation effect, and he is also used in the combo. So that's the extra deck. I'm gonna explain to you guys the combo now because it wouldn't be a good deck profile video if I don't, right? Because especially since it's a combo deck. So how do you get this combo? Well, you need 1 Metalfoes scale, 1 random Yang Zing that floats, and then any 2 Yang Zing cards. That's literally it. That's all you need for the combo. It's pretty simple. You think, oh, it's a 4-card combo. That's never going to happen. But the fact that you have 8 Metalfoes and any one of them works means it's pretty easy to get that slot. You have, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You have 16 Yang Zings that float, counting Zhao Tu. Zhao Tu can't float into himself, but if you have Zhao Tu, your combo only changes slightly. Ideally you want something other than Zhao Tu though. So 13 Yang Zings that float. Any one of the 13 works, and then you have 25 total Yang Zing cards. Any 2 of those 25 work for the rest of your combo. So let's say this is our hand, and we'll give ourselves. I don't want to give the traps because the traps are really good. We'll give ourselves a Metalfoes Fusion to start with, okay? Something that's useless to us and is not relevant as back row, right? So really a dead card, but one we can set, which is the important part. Okay, so this is our hand. You start by summoning your monster, activating your scale, pop. Okay, so you pop and you set at the same time. You set combination. Or actually, I'll do it like this. I'll do it in reverse so you guys can see things. So you set combination, right? And because you pop and set at the same time, the Yang Zings don't miss timing. You float. You float into Zhao Tu. And you do Zhao Tu's effect, right? Discard your 2 Yang Zings. Summon 2 Yang Zings from the deck. 1 with 0 attack, 1 with 0 defense. So you summon a Zefraxi and a Zephrinu. 0 defense, 0 attack. You do not use Zefraxi's effect at this point. You need it later on, so you don't use it here. Next, Synchro 8. So this goes to grave, this goes to extra deck, right? You Synchro 8, and you bring out Baxia. No effect on summon. You're not spinning anything away. Baxia effect, pop your face down combination to bring back Jiao 2. Combination effect. When it gets popped, you search. So you complete your scales. Oh, wait, that's also stealing. Hang on. You complete your scales. You get a silvered. Right, so you complete the scales. That's it. That's all. Synchro 5 into Denlong. Denlong effect. You search the first of your counter traps. Pillars. Right, so you have pillars and fusion in hand. Next, you pendulum summon back the 2 Yang Zinc pendulums you used up for the combo. Activate both effects. Zefraxy targets Baxia, and Zephrinu searches. So Zephrinu, you can search out another pillars if you want. I search out Zephyr Divine Strike for the reasons I said in the earlier part of the profile. It's basically just variation, harder to counter because of that. Well, harder to put a stop to. And then Zefraxy makes Baxia a tuner. Synchro 8 with Denlong and Zefraxy. And then because you use Zefraxy's effect and he was summoned by Pendulum Summon, he shuffles into the deck. You bring out a second Baxia. Again, no shuffling away. Denlong effect activates, however, and you bring out, if you didn't already use Qi Wen, if you didn't discard Qi Wen or use Qi Wen to float into Jiao 2, this is where you summon Qi Wen. If you did already use a Qi Wen, like you have a Qi Wen in graveyard, you summon something else, like usually a Bishi or a Pulao. Or a Suwani, one of the two. Like one of those three, basically. Anything but Bian or Qi Wen. Unless you don't have Qi Wen, in which case you do Qi Wen. Right? So you summon that. Second Baxia effect, pop the freshly summoned Yang Zing to resummon the Jiao 2 again. The monster reborn. The new Yang Zing triggers, and this floats into, let's say, Suwani at this point. Okay? Again, anything besides Bian here. Now you Synchro 8. We're almost at the end, boys. Synchro 8, right? This goes back to the extra deck. And you bring out Void Ogre Dragon, since Jiao 2 is dark, and you need a dark tuner for that. Send these 2 to grave to bring out Sulkin. Where's Sulkin? There he is. Sulkin. You set your 2 counter traps, which brings out Crystal Wing, and then you set your 3rd card so you can have no cards in hand for Void Ogre Dragon.
And this is where your opponent proceeds to scoop.
And this is where they scoop, because you have a monster effect negation, a speller trap effect negation, and 2 generic negations, let's say, 2 barrier style negations. However, you have 5 total negations with this combo, not 4.
How do you do this 5th one, Luca?
Yes, I'm getting at that. So on their turn, you're going to negate something with pillars. Ideally, like, the only thing I would negate before using pillars is potentially Void Ogre Dragon, just because it's fast, simple, easy, right?
Yep.
And he's probably the weakest negation available right now.
So I think you go by weakest first, then you go by strongest.
Well, no, but the second one you go here because you want the floodgate effect. So what you're gonna do, I'll show you. Watch.
Yeah.
So you like counter destroy your Suwani whatever, and that summons out Bian. And then because Suwani was destroyed at the same time, you can activate the Qi Wen engrave to summon Qi Wen. Then, so now you have a field of 5 monsters here. Then, before the game returns to an open game state, you are allowed to activate a quick effect. So you activate the quick effect of Bian to synchro with Yang Zing monsters. Qi Wen gets banished, this gets sent to grave, and you bring out Herald of the Arclight, who cannot be destroyed by battle. So now you have a 5th negation here. This is negation number 5, and it's a floodgate, and it can't be destroyed by battle. So they can't just run it over to try and stop that negation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't do this. This is negation number 5.
It's terrible, I say. But that's the deck. The deck is really strong when it gets to go first, and it combos off fairly easily. The hard part is when you have to go second and fight through back row, because you saw there was no Twin Twisters, there was no nothing, it was pure combo. I'm going to keep working with this deck to see if I can find a way around that, see if I can have a way to solve that issue.
If there was a problem, I'll solve it.
But in the meantime, it's still super fun to play Solitaire every once in a while, especially screw people's heads.
Go to locals, 40-minute rounds, 30 minutes taken up by this combo.
The combo's fast. It's like 5 minutes.
I know.
Not even. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was the Yang Zing Metalfoes deck I have for you guys. Scuba Sage, out.